This page is the front cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, hyping up some major Sega announcements. The big news is a new version of the Saturn console and the confirmed ports of Virtua Fighter 3 and Virtua Fighter Kids. You'll see a huge feature on Tokimeki Memorial Forever with you, alongside exclusive scoops and coverage for a ton of other titles. The issue dives into games like Mega Man X3, Haunted Casino, Albert Odyssey Side Story, Dokusei If, and Angelique Special. They also cover classics like Gradius and Snatcher, plus RPGs like Langrisser 2i and Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. A big focus is on the King of Fighters 95, hailed as a perfect port, and the cover features artwork for Dragon Force, announcing a new official comic serialization. This cover gives a great overview of the hot topics and upcoming releases for the system at the time, showing the breadth of genres available on the Saturn. This page features a comprehensive look at the highly anticipated simulation RPG, Dragon Force. It highlights the game's epic scale set on the vast continent of Legendra, detailing how players can lead one of 8 different nations in grand, real-time strategic battles involving hundreds of units clashing on screen. The page emphasizes the deep storytelling, with over 120 unique characters and rulers, each having their own narrative path, making for immense replayability. Alongside the game details, a Dandan Itadaki campaign is promoted, encouraging players to purchase new Sega Saturn software released during a specific period in March and April 1996. By collecting seals from game boxes, players could enter to win special prizes like Sega Saturn-themed bags or a unique Sega Saturn chair, rewarding early adopters. This page announces the exciting arrival of the Fantasy Science World Adventure RPG Gulliver Boy on Sega Saturn. The page prominently features dynamic artwork of the main character and his fairy companion. Set within the ambitious backdrop of the 19th century Mediterranean, the game promises an imaginative adventure. Key highlights include powerful and exciting battle scenes, a deep trading system allowing players to earn necessary funds, and impressive animation sequences that are said to exceed 30 minutes in length with enhanced colors and size. Characters are brought to life with rich expressions and voice acting, provided by 42 actors, including Chisa Yokoyama. Notable creators involved in the project include Uji Hiroi, Toyomi Akihata, and Akira Toriyama. The game is slated for release on March 22, 1996, as a 2-CD set priced at 6,800 yen. This page features a preview for Sunsoft's fantasy RPG, Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, coming to Sega Saturn. The left side of the page showcases vibrant character artwork featuring the main protagonists and an imposing green dragon. The right side provides details about the game's features and story. The game promises an extensive scenario composed of 2 main parts and a free quest system. Combat is highlighted as a key feature, utilizing an agility battle system that allows for quick attacks. The battles are brought to life with expressive character animations, voice acting, and impressive visual effects for magic and attacks. The game was scheduled for release in the summer of 1996 for 6,500 yen. Initial copies were set to include a desk calendar and come in a special CD box package, with a chance to win prizes by participating in a survey. This page offers a look at some diverse titles available for the Sega Saturn, featuring both value-priced classics and popular sports simulations. On the left, the focus is on accessible, budget-friendly games. This includes a collection of classic board and table games like chess, shogi, and mahjong, bundled together for competitive fun. Also featured is Shanghai Great Moments, an entry in the long-running mahjong puzzle series, bringing new challenges and visuals. The right side is dedicated to the passion for soccer, with several distinct titles. J-League Victory Goal 96 delivers realistic J-League matches featuring commentary from prominent figures. For players looking to improve their game, Isto é Zico provides tactical and technical insights directly from the legendary player Zico within a simulation. Finally, Let's Make a Pro Soccer Club dives into the strategic world of soccer management, challenging players to build and lead their own successful team. This selection demonstrates the Saturn's commitment to popular genres and sports simulations. This page features 3 diverse titles from Victor Entertainment for the Sega Saturn: the vibrant anime action game Kimyu Kitenretsu Uedo Bakumatsu Chinduchu, the realistic fishing simulation Seabass Fishing, and the intense 3D helicopter combat of Thunderhawk 2. This page presents a fascinating double-page spread featuring 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles from publisher Mizuki. On the left, we have Isto é Zico Zico's Thoughts on Soccer, a multimedia soccer title centered around the legendary Brazilian footballer Zico. The page features a large image of Zico and details the game's release on March 22 for 5,800 yen. It highlights Zico's insights into soccer techniques and philosophy. A special campaign is advertised, offering prizes like team uniforms, soccer boots, and gear through a quiz. The right side is dedicated to Lupin III: The Master File, set for release on March 29, also priced at 5,800 yen. This multimedia collection brings together various episodes from the iconic Lupin III anime series. Featured prominently are Lupin, Jigen, Goemon, Fujiko, and Zenigata, alongside Lupin's signature yellow Fiat. A limited edition campaign is also mentioned, offering prizes such as original anime cells, poster sets, and stickers for early buyers. It's a treat for anime fans, compiling classic content. This page features a large advertisement for Gungrafon, the Eurasian conflict from GameArts. The ad showcases the game's intense 3D mech battles with new mobile weapons, highlighting that it brings together the latest 3D technology. The page features impressive artwork of the mechs in a desolate landscape, alongside several screenshots showing the first-person cockpit view during gameplay. The ad details several missions players can undertake, including Dandelion Seed, which involves a surprise landing in Kharkiv to cut off enemy supply routes, Dark Servant, where players eliminate forces attempting to capture Kiev at night, Fox Hunt, involving a raid on the Trans-Siberian Railway, and Bloodstorm, which requires destroying an enemy armored division in the Mongolian plains. The game boasts advanced technical features for the time, mentioning polygon counts for mechs and on-screen detail, realistic motion controls for walking and running, a newly developed sound driver to create a realistic battlefield atmosphere, and the implementation of effects like localization, distance, and Doppler effect. It also utilizes light source calculation and atmospheric perspective for detailed 3D representation. The opening CG demo supports video CD operator. The game was released today for the Sega Saturn, priced at 5,800 yen. This page features a two-page spread highlighting upcoming games. On the left is Sword and Sorcery, presented as an RPG in the Rigload Saga series, showcasing classic fantasy themes with detailed anime character designs. The page emphasizes the narrative, character roster, and voice acting, positioning it as an epic adventure. It was set for release in May 1996. There is also a section recruiting staff for development roles. On the right, Death Throttle is introduced as a high-tension 3D drive shooting game. Set in 2047, the premise involves escaping a quarantined city after a sudden outbreak. The game promises intense 3D visuals and vehicular combat, as shown in the included screenshots. This title was also scheduled for a May 1996 release, with the price to be announced. This page showcases a double feature of exciting upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we have Uncharted Waters, IV, Porto Estado, presented as a deep ocean adventure simulation RPG set during the Age of Exploration. The imagery prominently features a classic sailing ship, animated characters ready for adventure, and a backdrop of an antique world map. The game promises immersive 3D sea travel with detailed graphics and a full 360-degree view system, alongside intense real-time naval battles supporting up to 16 ships. Players can also look forward to a robust free trade system operating across over 50 ports with fluctuating prices, enhanced by cinematic visual sequences. Set for an April 1996 release, it looks like a must-have for fans of historical strategy and adventure. Flipping to the right, the page highlights two classic arcade shooting games making their way to the Sega Saturn. First up is Night Striker SES, a high-octane 3D drive shooting game. Players pilot a sleek futuristic combat vehicle through dystopian cityscapes, battling enemies in intense vehicular combat. It features branching paths leading to 6 different endings and recreates the arcade opening with CG movies, even supporting the mission stick for an authentic feel. Next is Metal Black, a sci-fi horizontal shooter known for its unique power-up system involving collecting elemental new-drawn energy and massive boss battles featuring powerful lasers. Both games bring the thrill of the arcade to home consoles, with Night Strikers launching in June and Metal Black arriving in May 1996. This page is an advertisement for the '96 spring edition of the Chusetsu Daiwaraji Rin, MOOC, a popular guide for game techniques and cheats. The book is back and bigger than ever, changing its format from A5 to B5 size and promising updated data. It boasts a massive collection of 8120 Uruwaza, which are special tricks, cheats, or techniques, along with a catalog covering 5,346 different game titles. This edition covers a huge range of systems from the past decade, including classics like Super Famicom, SNES, Game Boy, Famicom, NES, Mega Drive, Genesis, and Game Gear, alongside newer systems like 3DO, Neo Geo, Saturn, PlayStation, PCFX, and PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16. With a shiny gold cover, and priced at 980 yen, tax included, it's presented as a must-have resource for gamers looking to explore hidden aspects across multiple platforms. It's coming soon, and encourages readers not to miss out this time. This page is dominated by promotion for the Sega Saturn port of Kizuna Encounter. Super Tag Battle, a fighting game from Data East. Large artwork features dynamic poses of characters from the series, promising an epic fighting experience. The game highlights exciting features such as a beginner mode, speed adjustment options, and significantly enhanced visual performance. It emphasizes the strategic depth added by weapon-based combat and boasts a roster of 14 characters, including 2 new guest fighters. 2 gameplay screenshots show the fast-paced tag battles. Data East is listed as the publisher, with a release date set for March 22nd at a price of 5,800 yen. The page also includes the magazine's contents list and a comprehensive game index covering numerous Saturn titles, though these sections are primarily navigational lists. This page delivers a packed emergency report from Sega, highlighting major announcements for the Saturn console. Sega made a significant move by confirming that the highly anticipated Virtua Fighter 3 and the charming Virtua Fighter Kids are both slated for porting to the Saturn. Adding to the excitement, Sega revealed a new version of the Saturn console, set to launch at a more affordable price point of 20,000 yen. This revised model maintains the same performance as the original, but features a sleeker, more integrated design aimed at reducing costs. Beyond hardware, the page emphasizes a strong commitment to software, promising over 300 titles by the end of 1996. Arcade fans will be thrilled by the announcement of the Sega Ages series, bringing classic hits to the Saturn. The initial lineup features beloved titles like Space Harrier, Afterburner, Outrun, and the puzzle duo Taunt R and Ishidant R, known collectively or individually in Sega Arcade Gallery outside Japan, alongside Quiz and Dragons, a striking new full CG adventure game titled Toriko. Midnight Rendezvous is also announced, based on a mystery novel, promising a unique visual experience. Screenshots showcase the new console model, the updated controller, visuals from Virtua Fighter Kids and Virtua Fighter 3, the intriguing Toriko, and multiple Sega Ages titles. Sega clearly signals a powerful push for the Saturn in the spring of '96, with both hardware and software initiatives. This page dives into the highly anticipated Sega Saturn title, 04 Champ Doozy J Typer. Building on the series' history from PC Engine and Super Famicom, the Saturn entry promises a significant evolution. An interview with Hisashi Sugawara from Media Rings reveals the development team's excitement for the Saturn, praising its freedom and capabilities. The game is a unique blend of racing simulation and character nurturing, focusing on building relationships and skills beyond just winning races. Expect detailed, realistic car models and high-quality visuals, aiming for a level of immersion not seen in previous iterations. The page also unveils initial character designs for the game's cast, featuring multiple male rivals and a large group of distinct female tuners. These characters play a crucial role in the game's simulation aspect, with hints of potential romantic storylines adding depth to the experience. 04 Champ Doozy J Typer is targeting a summer-autumn '96 release, promising a compelling racing and life simulation experience. This page features a major scoop on the upcoming Sega Saturn release of Mega Man X3. It highlights the action-packed gameplay the series is famous for, touting it as the latest entry to be ported to the console. A key focus is placed on the fact that Zero is now a playable character in specific situations, offering a different style of combat. The article also showcases the powerful new ride armors that X can utilize, each with unique abilities to help navigate levels and defeat bosses. Fans are also treated to news of an exclusive animated opening movie for the Saturn version. Screenshots demonstrate the classic side-scrolling action, boss encounters, and the use of ride armors. The magazine clearly views this port as a significant title for the Saturn, bringing a top-tier action game experience to the system. This page features a major scoop on the Sega Saturn title, Haunted Casino. This is presented as an adult-oriented casino game set in a haunted mansion, where the player challenges bewitching demon dealers. The core gameplay involves exploring the mysterious mansion and facing these dealers in various casino games, often wagering souls as the stakes. The game boasts 4 distinct types of casino games. The page highlights several of the seductive demon dealers the player will encounter and provides screenshots showing the mansion's interior exploration and confrontation scenes against these unique characters. The premise appears to focus on strategic gambling and exploration rather than just pure chance, with the intriguing dealers adding a unique adult twist. This page features an in-depth look at the King of Fighters 95, specifically reviewing the Neo Geo CD port and comparing its quality to the original arcade and home Neo Geo versions. The article questions how closely the CD version manages to replicate the original experience, ultimately declaring it a surprisingly faithful, complete port. It highlights several aspects where the port excels, noting the demo screens, character sprite patterns and animations, the game's presentation elements like stage intros and special effects, and the core system modes and options are all impressively accurate to the source material. However, it also points out some differences. One is that the screen aspect ratio appears slightly taller on the Saturn version, although the article suggests this isn't a major issue after playing for a bit. Curiously, the article claims that load times are short, stating that loading character graphics takes only about 1 second, describing this speed as surprisingly fast for a fighting game port on CD and a positive point. This review suggests the Neo Geo CD port is a largely successful adaptation, despite the inherent technical differences from the original cartridge-based hardware. This page dives deeper into the King of Fighters 95, specifically showcasing key characters from the game. It presents detailed profiles for the main character team, Kyo Kusanagi, Benimaru Nikaido, and Goro Daimon, listing their backgrounds, physical attributes, hobbies, and motivations for entering the tournament. Similarly, the rival team is introduced, featuring Yori Yagami, Eiji Kisaragi, and Billy Kane, with their own profiles and reasons for competing, highlighting their antagonistic relationship with the main heroes. The page also includes small sections on stage characteristics and features, along with various screenshots capturing these details. A large portion is dedicated to a gallery of character poses that aren't easily seen during normal gameplay, showing their entrance animations, victory stances, stunned states, taunts, and even defeat reactions for all 6 featured fighters. It's a great visual guide to the character designs and animations in KOF 95. This page continues the look at the King of Fighters 95, highlighting 2 more iconic teams. On the left is the Fatal Fury team, featuring Terry Bogard and Kitty Bogard and Joe Higashi. Their profiles include birth dates, physical stats, blood types, hobbies, skills, and important items. The text discusses their motivation for joining the tournament, stemming from an invitation delivered by Joe after their training. On the right is the Art of Fighting team, consisting of Ryo Sakazaki, Robert Garcia, and Takuma Sakazaki. Similar profiles detail their backgrounds. Their entry into the KOF tournament is explained as part of their training and response to an invitation received by Ryo. Both sections include details on the stage direction and characteristics for their respective teams, with screenshots showing unique aspects of the fighting arenas, like the background and movement. A large portion of the page is dedicated to a collection of character poses not frequently seen during regular gameplay, showcasing entrance, victory, defeat, and other reactions for all 6 fighters from these 2 teams. This page continues the in-depth look at the King of Fighters 95, focusing on 2 more distinct teams. On the left is the hardened Ikari Warriors team, comprising the stoic Commander Hydern, the hot-headed Ralph, and the cool Clark. Their profiles provide key stats and personal details, but their true driving force is revealed to be tied to Hydern's past tragedy and the looming shadow of Rugar. They enter the tournament under Hydern's direct command. Their stage is depicted as a gritty battlefield, featuring dynamic diagonal scrolling and environmental interactions like falling rocks when characters are thrown. To the right is the unique Psycho Soldier team, featuring the psychic idol Athena Asamiya, her comrade Sikenso, and their master, Chin Gensai. Their entry into the tournament is prompted by detecting a strange, evil aura and receiving an unexpected invitation, leading them to join forces to investigate. Their stage is a serene, misty setting, with a beautiful waterfall that reacts during gameplay. The lower section of the page provides a fantastic collection of character poses not easily seen during normal gameplay. This showcase includes entrance animations, multiple victory poses, defeated states, taunts, and other reactions for Hydern, Ralph, Clark, Athena, Kensu, and Chin, offering fans a closer look at their detailed sprite work and character expressions. This page delves further into the King of Fighters 95 lineup, showcasing two more distinct teams ready for battle. On the left, we have the Women Fighters team featuring the skilled Yuri Sakazaki, the Ninja Mai Shiranui, and the cool Bartender King. Their motive for joining involves Yuri and Mai seeking a third teammate after finding their usual spots unavailable, leading them to recruit King for an unexpected alliance. Their profile details cover their personal stats and preferences. The team stage is set in King's elegant bar. To the right is Kim Kafwan's team, appropriately named the Kim team, with his unwilling disciples Chain Kohan and Choi Bounge. Driven by Kim's relentless pursuit of justice and his severe training regimen, they enter the tournament after receiving an invitation from Rugal, which Kim uses as an opportunity for even more intense discipline. Their profiles also list key personal information. Their stage is a dark forest, notable for a large tree that falls at the start of the match. The lower section presents a fantastic visual gallery of poses rarely seen during regular gameplay for all 6 characters: Yuri, Mai, King, Kim, Chang, and Choi. It includes their unique entrance animations, different victory celebrations, defeated states, taunts, and other reactions, offering fans a detailed look at their character sprites and animations. This page continues the in-depth character introductions that KOF 95 is known for. This page offers a special report on Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, announcing they have finally acquired the Creedrom version. The magazine expresses great excitement, proclaiming the graphics are top-notch, and the game is a full-fledged RPG, with both scenario and graphics being excellent. It details that this title is a side story that moves away from the simulation elements of previous games to focus purely on the RPG genre, featuring a grand story, charming characters, and beautiful battle scene animations. The report provides a digest of the game's early events, introducing the protagonist Pike and other characters encountered at the start of the journey, including Lajaya, Forte, and the antagonist Bernard Steiner. Screenshots showcase impressive graphics during events and magic use, reinforcing the magazine's praise for the game's visual presentation. This page continues the deep dive into Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, detailing Pike's journey after leaving his home. The adventure quickly expands as Pike meets his initial companions, Lou and Sullivan, before venturing into a mountain cave. Here, they face early monsters like goblins and kobolds, rescuing a captured fairy. The report highlights sudden battles and introduces specific enemy types players will encounter. The story progresses to meeting key allies like the powerful magic user Erica, who even puts the persistent antagonist Bernard in his place. A dramatic scene shows Pike being turned to stone, only to be saved by Erica's intervention. Pike's travels take him to the town of Solus, where a terrifying vampire, Count Frondea, appears and terrorizes the inhabitants, leading to a confrontation in his castle. Finally, the page introduces the important priest Leos and shows Pike helping the Dragonkin tribe who are suffering from a mysterious illness. The article emphasizes the expanding world, the introduction of crucial party members, and the escalating conflicts Pike faces. It leaves off on a cliffhanger, promising more details in the next issue about what challenges await Pike and his growing group of allies. This page dives into the Sega Saturn version of Tokimeki Memorial, Forever With You, highlighting a significant new feature that allows the player character to confess their feelings, a departure from previous versions where the goal was to receive a confession. The magazine presents fan predictions for how this new confession scene might play out, showing potential scenarios like going to the legendary tree or expressing feelings directly. The article also includes classic elements of the series, such as character portraits of prominent heroines like Shiori Fujisaki, Saki Nijino, and Ayako Katagiri, alongside screenshots depicting exploration within the school setting. It describes the core gameplay as a high school romance simulation focused on managing stats like studying, sports, and appearance to win over a girl. A key part of the report is an interview with the new producer, Yoshinori Mishina, who confirms that the ability for the player to confess was implemented based on fan requests, calling it a major change that users wanted. Overall, the page focuses on introducing the Saturn port and emphasizing this highly anticipated new gameplay mechanic. This page gives us a first look at Langrisser 2 Eyes, Diving into the gameplay flow and key systems. We see the core loop broken down into phases. The command phase, where you set up your units and give orders on a tactical map, and the execution phase, where those orders are carried out simultaneously with the enemy. The game transitions to a 3D view for battles, and the magazine highlights the ability to freely control the camera during combat, which is a nice touch for a strategy RPG. The page also introduces the main character, Die Haltz, and several heroines, including Tredulus, Luna, Sophia, and Riphany. It mentions a heroine select system, hinting at a romance simulation element, where Die Halt's actions influence his relationships with these characters, potentially impacting the story's progression. The visuals show detailed character portraits and screenshots of both the strategic map and the battlefield views, giving a good sense of the game's presentation. This page features two major fighting game releases for the Sega Saturn. On the left is a massive spread for the King of Fighters 95, showcasing a dynamic illustration of Yori Yagami and confirming its upcoming release on the console. Small screenshots give a glimpse of the familiar SNK fighting action fans expected. The right side focuses on Vampire Hunter, known internationally as Darkstalker's Revenge. It highlights the game's release on the Saturn, featuring character art and promoting its roster of 14 unique fighters. The text touches on key mechanics like guard reversal and chain combos, emphasizing the fast-paced, arcade-style combat. A section includes basic game information like genre and player count, and there's also a list of special moves for the characters, a staple for any fighting game fan eager to master their chosen fighter. Instructions on how to use the included valuable CD jacket are also shown. This page serves as a valuable CD jacket for Darkstalker's Revenge, offering artwork and information potentially usable as a CD case insert. It features gameplay tips, including a note on Morrigan's dash trajectory and how to trigger a special victory pose for Sasquatch. The majority of the left side is dedicated to comprehensive command lists, detailing the special moves for a variety of characters, crucial for players mastering the game. On the right, a short manga-style comic provides narrative context, featuring characters like Goldark, and mentioning events involving Giseldark King and the conquering of an empire, delving into the game's lore. Below the comic, there are instructions on how to unlock hidden features, such as a unique victory pose for Anakaris, and a secret frog that can appear on Orspus's stage. This page is a visually striking feature focused on Dragon Force 2. The center of the page prominently displays the game's logo, 2. The artwork features several key characters from the strategy RPG, including what appears to be the protagonists and potentially antagonists, all drawn in a dynamic, expressive style. There are dialogue bubbles with text, like, "This isn't going to end simply," and, "Oh, this isn't simple," hinting at the game's dramatic narrative. Below the title, it notes the cooperation of Sega Enterprises and credits the comic adaptation or feature to Uncle Sam. This page seems to be an introduction to a comic series, or a special feature highlighting the game and its characters. This page features a manga adaptation based on the world of Dragon Force, showing characters like Wayne, Link, and Norn interacting amidst castle backdrops within the realm of Legendora. The page presents panels depicting dramatic moments, including Wayne seemingly in distress, Link encountering Norn, and a character falling from a tree. Link is also shown looking surprised in front of Highland Castle. The dialogue highlights the appearance of these key characters. The bottom section provides historical notes on Legendora, referencing the first and second great disasters and ancient conflicts between races, setting the scene for the events depicted in the manga, and linking back to the lore of the Dragon Force games. This page continues the Dragon Force manga adaptation, depicting further interactions between key characters and advancing the plot. The upper panels show Link reacting to the seemingly distressed state of Wayne, who appears to have fallen from a height, while Norn looks on, commenting on the situation. There's a humorous interlude where Link is caught seemingly talking to a small rodent, explaining he was negotiating over a garden tree, before being interrupted. The focus then shifts dramatically, as a messenger announces the arrival of an official letter from the Empire of Fendaria, specifically from King Goldark, addressed to the King of Highland. Link's reaction indicates the significance of this news, likely hinting at the escalating conflict or political maneuvering central to the Dragon Force storyline. The next page features a split layout, continuing the Dragon Force manga on the left and showcasing a preview report on the game itself on the right. The manga panels show the characters reacting to urgent news, with Link giving instructions to gather everyone immediately, emphasizing the escalating situation hinted at on the previous page. The main feature focuses on Dragon Force, a fantastic simulation RPG that lets you play as one of 8 nations vying for control of the continent of Legendra. This pre-release report highlights the game's massive scope and deep story, promising a grand saga where players lead their armies, forge alliances, and confront the evil god Madruk. Screenshots demonstrate key gameplay elements, including intense army battles where up to 100 vs 100 units clash, strategic map movement, and event scenes that change depending on which of the 8 leaders you choose to play as, adding incredible replayability and unique perspectives on the overarching narrative. It's clear this game was building significant hype with its blend of strategy and RPG depth, and this article perfectly captured that excitement right before launch, even tying into the ongoing comic adaptation. This page delves deeper into the world of Dragon Force, specifically highlighting 3 of the 8 playable nations on the continent of Legendra. We are introduced to the Tristan Kingdom, a powerful military state in the north led by the strong king Tristan. In the west is the island nation of Izumo, known for its dedication to the way of the warrior, featuring Prince Mikazuchi, whose return home after his father's assassination is a key prologue event. Finally, the southern Bozak nation is presented as a primitive, tribal society dwelling in deep forests, ruled by the formidable King Gongos. The article also showcases specific game events, including a conflict between 2 Izumo factions, led by Mikazuchi, and the shadowy ninja Kyokuen, hinting at internal strife. Additionally, it details an encounter with Haim, the king of the undead, found in a demonic tower. This battle event is tied to playing as specific rulers like Highland or Moon Palace, and defeating Haim offers the chance to recruit him, demonstrating the game's branching story paths and potential allies. The page also introduces several key generals serving Prince Mikazuchi, detailing their roles and personalities, showcasing the depth of the character roster within each nation. This page continues the exploration of Dragon Force, focusing on the Bozak Nation and the Tristan Kingdom, expanding on their introductions from the previous page. We meet the key figures and events shaping their stories. The Bozak Nation, led by the Beastman King Gongos, is highlighted along with his loyal generals, including his brothers Ragi and Bagi, and his childhood friend Mani. We see events depicting Gongos' interactions with other rulers, including a conflict with Ganrad, a beastman serving the Fantaria Empire, and surprisingly awkward encounters with King Tintialus of the Elf Nation, which leads to Gongos attempting a strange marriage proposal and challenging King Wayne of Highland. The Tristan Kingdom, under King Junyan, is shown as a powerful military state vying for influence against the rising Fantaria Empire and its leader, Goldark. The page introduces Junnan's key generals, Iros, Kiriko, Ortega, and Joshua. Events detail the dangers Junnan faces, such as an assassin sent by Goldark named Kiol, who battles Junnan's retainer Gustav, accompanied by advisors Ramsey and Kid. We also see Junnan forming an alliance with King Tialus, and a tense confrontation with King Wayne of Highland. The content provides a great look at the diverse characters and the intertwined political landscape of Legendra, showing how different rulers and their unique personalities drive the branching events and potential alliances in the game. This page dives into the upcoming Sega Saturn title, Debut. The focus here is on showcasing the game's original elements, particularly its ending animation and event graphics. We see a large illustration featuring the game's cast of anime-style female characters, highlighting the visual focus of this simulation game. The magazine proudly reveals early looks at the ending animation, showing key scenes and character poses. Gameplay features discussed include the ability to choose from 5 different manager types, each with distinct characteristics like balance, stamina, passion, suitability, and income focus. The system for giving gifts to the characters has been expanded to 5 types, influencing relationships. Another feature highlighted is visiting characters when they are sick, adding a personal touch to the management simulation. The page also previews various in-game events, with screenshots, such as a Valentine's Day scene, filming a local commercial, and seasonal events like New Year's Day, where characters are depicted in beautiful kimono. There's also a special great service release of Saturn version graphics, including scenes from the ending animation, and event CGS, like a character in a swimsuit. Overall, the page gives readers a tantalizing glimpse into the charming characters, detailed graphics, and simulation elements of Debut, promising a rich experience filled with character interaction and special events. This page continues our in-depth look at the highly anticipated Sega Saturn title, Debut. Picking up where the last report left off, this spread focuses heavily on showcasing the game's impressive visual content, particularly the opening and various ending sequences. You get a fantastic overview of the opening, shown through a collage of dynamic screenshots featuring the girls performing on stage, practicing, and even in the recording studio. It really gives a sense of their journey to stardom. Next, the magazine unveils some of the individual character endings. We see glimpses of how the girls turn out based on your guidance, like Saori Fujimura becoming a polished office lady, and Akaki to working as a hostess. Most intriguing is the reveal of a Saturn original ending for Kumi Tanaka. It's a stark contrast to the others, depicting her in prison clothes with a ball and chain, looking distraught. The text hints she took a wrong turn, adding a unique, darker outcome possibility exclusive to this version. Finally, the ending animation is previewed, showing a sepia-toned scene and sequential cuts from the animated sequence, including one character strangely appearing as a puppet. It's a visual spectacle that promises a rewarding conclusion to the game. This report solidifies that Debut is packed with varied and dramatic visual finales. This page continues our look at Dokusei If, the dating sim, focusing on the talented voice cast who brought the characters to life. We get comments from the producer and several voice actors, giving insights into their roles and experiences working on the game. A major highlight for the Saturn version is the inclusion of brand new, exclusive scenarios for every single character, significantly expanding the gameplay and story content beyond the original PC Engine release. Moving on, we get a report on Thor, Story of the Wooden Doll, highlighting the game's combat system. The main focus is on the protagonist's diverse arsenal of weapons and abilities. You'll primarily use a short sword, bow, greatsword, and staff, but the game also features sub-weapons like powerful bombs and even a smokescreen ability for tactical use. The screenshots effectively illustrate the action, showing different attacks and how the game visually represents the power of your hits with clear on-screen effects. It looks like mastering the different weapons and abilities will be key to overcoming the challenges in this action RPG. This page continues our look at anticipated releases, with a report on Idol Janshi Tsuchipai 2 for the Sega Saturn. This looks like a significant upgrade, arriving on 2 discs and packed with content. The page features vibrant artwork of the main characters alongside screenshots highlighting various aspects of the game. It covers the character transformation sequences, which are a key visual element, showcasing Tsuchipai and her companions like Peach Pie, Cherry Pie, Lemon Pie, and Milky Pie undergoing their magical girl-style costume changes. The second disc adds substantial value, featuring a free battle mode, allowing players to challenge various characters. There are also voice actor interviews and character-specific features like Miri's Room, where you can listen to character voices and even change their costumes, adding a fun customization element. Sub-character battles are also mentioned, expanding the roster of opponents beyond the main cast. The screenshots demonstrate the mahjong gameplay, character dialogue sequences, and the menus for accessing the different modes and features. Idol Janshi Tsuchipai 2 looks like it's bringing a lot more than just mahjong to the Saturn. This page continues our look at upcoming releases, with a detailed report on Angelique Special. This isn't your typical game, it's a simulation where you play as one of 2 candidates vying to become Queen of the Universe. The page features a beautiful main illustration of the game's diverse cast, including the heroine, her rival Rosalia, and the various handsome guardian saints. Gameplay revolves around cultivating your assigned planet through a command system, making it suitable for habitation, while competing with Rosalia. Screenshots show various locations within the floating city, where the Queen candidates train. You can visit places like the Royal Research Institute for information, your own room, or Rosalia's, and critically, the Sanctuary to request power from the 9 Guardian Saints. These interactions are key to developing your planet and building relationships. The game also includes relationship-building aspects, such as meeting saints by the forest lake for casual chats or going on dates in the park, which can increase intimacy, though wrong answers can lead to awkward situations. There's even a fortune teller's house where you can check compatibility with characters, adding another layer to the social simulation. It looks like a deep and engaging experience, focused on strategy, cultivation, and interpersonal relationships. This page highlights the Mahjong Dokusei Special on Sega Saturn, a mahjong game featuring attractive anime characters. The focus is on the game's appeal through its deluxe voice acting and charming cast, promising exciting gameplay centered around mahjong. The page showcases the main female characters with their names and ages, including Sakura Mai and Kurokawa Satomi, emphasizing the visual presentation. It also mentions a premium version, offering special phone cards as a bonus. Alongside the game feature, we get the Ranking Street section, a reader-driven segment that combines fan input with actual sales data for Sega Saturn, Super 32X, and Genesis games. This analysis corner includes sales charts for recent weeks, featuring popular titles like Darkstalkers, Neon Genesis Evangelion, J.League Pro Soccer Club, and Thunderhawk 2. It's a great resource for seeing what's hot in the Sega gaming scene, based on both player enthusiasm and market performance. This page is a reader submission form and postcard spread for Saturn Fan Magazine, designed to allow fans to interact directly with the publication. It serves as a way for readers to provide feedback, enter contests, and submit content to various sections within the magazine. Key destinations for reader mail highlighted here include the popular Ranking Street section, the Game Lab, the Kingdom of Saturn, and the Cornhead Club. The form prompts readers for information like their details, and includes a section where they can give feedback or rank various games, listing titles such as Neon Genesis Evangelion, The Tower, Load Monarch, Media Remasters, and others. There's also a section for entering the prize giveaway featured in the issue. This spread is crucial for fostering community engagement and gathering reader input on games and magazine content. This page presents the Ranking Street section for Sega Saturn games, reflecting reader feedback and scores. It features a table listing the top games, their genre, release dates, prices, and reader-calculated scores, highlighting the overall rankings. Taking the top spot is the adventure game Tenchi Muyo, with readers offering varied opinions. Many appreciate it as a classic adventure title, noting its ample content across 2 discs. However, some express disappointment with the animation quality and feel the game aspect is weak, essentially being a visual novel with limited interaction. Screenshots accompanying the comments show character portraits and in-game scenes. Coming in second is the fighting game Ninku. Reviews point out that while fans of the series will enjoy it, the game received mixed reactions regarding its visuals and gameplay mechanics. The screenshots display fighter select and in-game combat. Third place goes to World Fishing. Readers generally praise its realistic graphics and sound design, appreciating the immersive fishing experience and intuitive controls, though some find the tutorials lacking. A screenshot illustrates the fishing interface. The page notes that due to a quiet month without many major new releases, the overall top scores were lower than usual this time around. This section is clearly a key platform for readers to voice their opinions on recent Saturn titles. This page dives into the reader-driven Ranking Street section, showcasing the current popularity of Sega Saturn games based on fan votes. The main ranking sees Sakura Wars firmly holding onto the #1 spot, followed by strong contenders like the King of Fighters 95 and Fighting Vipers. A notable newcomer is Dokusei If, making its debut high on the list. The ranking also includes popular titles like Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, Cyberbots, and Dragon Force. Moving on to reader expectations, fans are buzzing about potential ports like the Super Robot Wars series, and eagerly awaiting the upcoming Neon Genesis Evangelion game. The Saturn Port Request ranking reveals what games readers most desire to see on the system, with Final Fantasy V2 and Tekken 2 topping the wishlist by a significant margin. Other highly requested titles include Dokusei 2, Real Bout Fatal Fury, and Dragon Quest VI. The page also features a call for reader game reviews, highlighting specific titles targeted for future critique, such as The Tower of Gotha. Finally, the Voices of Hope section shares general reader feedback, including hopes for better widescreen support and requests for ports of specific games and series. This page is the Conehead Club, a section dedicated to reader feedback, discussions, and illustrations. It delves into topics prompted by fan mail, starting with a major point of debate: the impact of Final Fantasy V2 releasing on PlayStation. Readers express frustration and question Square's direction, discussing the graphical differences and user reactions compared to the Saturn version. Another significant discussion revolves around the strategy for software, erotic games, and age ratings on the Saturn, pondering if the platform is shifting towards a more adult-oriented space and touching on censorship issues. Hardware capabilities and porting possibilities between PlayStation and Saturn are also touched upon based on user feedback. The page also features a lively talk and illustrations corner. Readers contribute artwork of characters from games like Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Princess Maker 2, and Guardian Heroes. They share release requests, hoping for ports of classic Namco titles such as Afterburner 2 and Outrun, as well as Sega's own Sega Ages series and potential new Phantasy Star games. There are comments on the gaming environment for female users, appreciation for Sega's development divisions like AM3, responsible for hits like Virtua Cop and Fighters Megamix, and even feedback from overseas fans. It's a vibrant snapshot of the diverse interests and concerns of the Saturn fanbase. This page dives into the heart of the Sega Saturn fan community, with several key sections. The Sega Fan Attacks Sega Saturn Fan Magazine segment features direct reader feedback and interviews, including discussions on topics like fan engagement, and perhaps even a humorous attack on the magazine itself, highlighted by a focus on Komin and potentially the popular dating sim Tokimeki Memorial. The Reader Present section offers readers a chance to win prizes related to popular titles. Giveaways include items from Angelique, Ituziko's Thinking Soccer, Lupin 2-1, the Master File, the mech game Gungraphon, exclusive Sonic, the Hedgehog merchandise, and a novel based on Tokyo Dungeon, Beyond the Real. There's also a list of winners from a previous giveaway. The page also showcases reader creativity in the illustration gallery and Why Did I Draw This sections. Fans have submitted artwork featuring characters from various games, such as Virtua Fighter Kids, Sakura Tyson, and Adon from Street Fighter, reflecting the diverse interests within the Saturn fanbase. Finally, the Conehead Club outside provides an additional space for reader interaction, likely addressing questions, feedback on submissions, and magazine content. This page features a special edition of Seiyu Paradise as part of the Virtual Idol series, focusing on the popular voice actress Mariko Kuda. It includes an in-depth interview where she discusses her career, her approach to voice acting, and her various activities beyond just voicing characters, such as her work on radio shows. The article highlights her involvement in several notable games. Prominently featured is her role in Virtual Idol Volume 7, Tokimeki Memorial, tying into the previous page's discussion of the popular dating sim. There's a screenshot from Laplace Panic, where she voices the character Megami Laplace. The game is described as featuring 15 cute girls. The interview also touches on her enjoyment of various game genres, mentioning classic titles like Super Mario and strategy games like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, as well as puzzle games. Finally, there's a giveaway offering signed postcards featuring her character from Laplace Panic. The page promises the next interview will feature Rai Iwatsubo. This page dives deep into the competitive world of the puzzle game Baku Baku Animal, featuring the final results of the All Japan Breeder Championship, sponsored by Saturn Fan and AM3. It highlights the intense competition and reveals the techniques needed to achieve the highest levels. The feature announces the grand champion, Yumeno Hidoko, a 23-year-old who achieved an astounding total score of 2070 points in the masterclass, earning them the coveted Master Breeder certification. The page breaks down how scores are calculated in the game, explaining the different point categories like attack points, chain points, and time points, along with details on how to optimize performance in each. It also includes a detailed guide on how to attain the Master certification, presenting the specific requirements through a flowchart and explaining the concept of virtual bait and its strategic importance in the game. Winner profiles from various classes are featured, sharing their thoughts and experiences. The page wraps up with an overall review celebrating the depth and fun of Baku Baku Animal, and announces the winners of a t-shirt and mascot giveaway. This page bursts with exciting news covering various Sega-related events and goods. First up, a report on the upcoming second All Japan Puyo Masters Tournament, promising fierce competition for the title of Strongest, and a grand prize of a trip to Disney World. The article provides details on how fans can participate or attend. Next, for fans of simulation games, there's news about new merchandise for Angelique, with the release of a drama CD and a vocal collection CD featuring the game's characters. Shifting gears, the page covers the Tokyo International Motorcycle Show, highlighting Sega's arcade hit Manx TT Superbike and an exciting communication battle event planned for attendees. Then, dive into the world of Mahjong with a feature on a new fan book for the Super Real Mahjong series, showcasing characters like Mizuki, Aya, and Akira, packed with illustrations and other content. Another major event covered is the Sega Battle Tournament at Yokohama Dreamland, featuring popular titles like Virtua Fighter 2 and Puyo Puyo 2, with a schedule detailing the multi-day competition. Music lovers will be interested in the single CD from Mamiko Noto, featuring a vocal arrangement of the iconic Confession Scene BGM, likely from the Tokimeki Memorial series. Finally, the page updates on the Virtua Fighter anime, announcing a new theme song sung by none other than Sega AM2's own sound composer, Akira Kushi. This page kicks off with updates on some hot Sega properties. First up, the second OVA for Sonic the Hedgehog, set to drop soon. The big news is Sonic facing off against the formidable Metal Sonic. They even highlight the impressive voice cast involved in bringing these characters to life. Next, fans of the Mahjong series Idol Janshi Suchipai 2 get details on its upcoming release and a pre-order campaign offering special goods. There's also news about an album release featuring music from the OVA. Then, there's a special campaign for Saturn owners called the Don't Miss Out campaign, showcasing cool prizes like a convenient Saturn carrying bag and an attachment that turns a seat into a place to play. The main event is a strategy breakdown for the mech shooter gun Griffon. This guide dives into the early stages, offering tips on tackling missions, understanding the different weapon types, and mastering the controls. It features helpful screenshots showing the game's interface and action, detailing what all the UI elements mean, and how to effectively pilot your mech in combat. It highlights that while controls are complex, they are essential for success. Finally, there's a list of winners from a reader prize giveaway. This page continues the deep dive into Gun Griffon, moving on to strategic guides for the first two missions. First up is Mission 1, Harikov. This serves as an introduction, focusing on completely wiping out all enemies on a plains map. The guide emphasizes mastering the advanced controls early on, anticipating enemy movements and hit points, and using techniques like jump attacks against weaker top armor. The strategy involves initially holding your position and using your main gun weapon on approaching enemies while waiting for helicopter reinforcements. Mission 2, Kiev, shifts the battlefield dramatically to an urban environment. The objective is still annihilation, but it's noted that this mission has more enemies and a tighter time limit, making effective use of your powerful RP weapons crucial against dense enemy formations. The techniques section warns about the strict time limit and stresses being mindful of enemy reinforcements. The urban map features narrow streets where you can get stuck, but also allows for tactical movement like walking on buildings. Below the mission details is a comprehensive list of appearing units, providing key stats like HP, armor penetration, weapons, damage, reload times, and speed for various tanks, helicopters, and other vehicles you'll encounter or pilot. It clarifies that the Type A, B, C designations are for internal game editing purposes. Finally, a small teaser at the bottom hints that the next page will delve into the more intense mid-game stages. This page continues the in-depth guide for Gun Griffon, moving on to the challenging mid-game missions. First up is Mission 3, codenamed Novosibirsk. This mission is a visually impaired battle in heavy snowfall, focusing on destroying a Siberian railway transport train. The brief emphasizes the challenging environment and the strict time limit of 5 minutes and 40 seconds to achieve victory. The techniques section highlights the importance of using dark vision due to the poor visibility and managing limited starting ammunition, noting that helicopter reinforcements will arrive with resupply. The map strategy is simple. Find the railway line in the north and wait on the eastern side for the train. Following that is Mission 4, titled Ulaanbaatar, where the primary objective is total enemy annihilation within a tight time limit of 10 minutes. This mission introduces the highly mobile HIMAX units as a significant threat, appearing alongside numerous other enemy reinforcements. The techniques section stresses the need to defend immediately against waves of enemies attacking from the west, and being aware of when reinforcements, including AWGS units, will arrive. The map strategy reflects this, stating you must defend right from the start. Though the mission strategies, a section lists more appearing units you'll encounter in these later missions, similar to the previous page, detailing their combat statistics. This page dives deep into the strategy for the simulation game World Advanced Strategy, focusing on key campaign scenarios and tactics. It acts as a strategy guide, offering players tips to succeed. The guide starts with the Russian campaign, emphasizing how to leverage snowy terrain to the Soviet Army's advantage. It discusses which unit types perform best in different weather conditions, and the importance of timing attacks with favorable weather, highlighting unit evolution as key to maintaining superiority. It then breaks down strategies for specific scenarios, like the Third Battle of Kharkov, outlining objectives and recommended attack routes to defeat the enemy HQ, while also warning of significant enemy reinforcements. Another section details tactics for a major tank battle, stressing a defensive posture initially, before launching a concentrated attack. Finally, the page offers insights into effective unit management, specifically comparing the strengths and weaknesses of the Soviet-heavy KV series tanks versus the more numerous medium T-34 series, advising players on when and where to deploy each type for maximum impact. This page continues the in-depth strategy guide for World Advanced Strategy, focusing on key aspects beyond just unit types and terrain. It highlights that understanding your own and the enemy's production types is crucial for success in the fictional campaigns. The guide presents a scenario branching chart, showing how progression through the campaign leads to different battles, with a note that this guide covers scenarios 7 through 10. The page then dives into specific scenario strategies, starting with Scenario 7, Port Island, recommending a rapid attack to secure central map points. Scenario 8, Owl's Lair, emphasizes quickly defeating nearby enemies and advancing as a united front. Scenario 9, Owl's Claw, discusses two primary approaches for attacking multiple enemy HQs and warns about the potential for financial difficulty if units aren't replaced efficiently. Finally, Scenario 10, Grey Empire, proposes a two-pronged attack strategy involving splitting forces to engage the enemy on multiple fronts. The guide reinforces the importance of strategic timing and unit management throughout these scenarios. This page continues the guide for World Advanced Strategy, concluding the standard mode map introductions with the final two next-level scenarios. One scenario, The End of Manchuria, challenges players to defend fleeing civilians from the Soviet army. The page then introduces the multiplayer section, presenting scenarios tailored for multiple players, unlike the standard mode maps. These include Kursk, focusing on Soviet and German forces with distinct production methods and close combat; India, a revival of a previous game's final battle featuring advanced units and intense conflict; Bulge, Germany's last stand against powerful Allied forces, highlighting tank battles like Panther vs. Sherman; and Harakov, depicting large tank engagements on the Russian plains. Other multiplayer scenarios include a fictional battle of giant shipwreck, featuring famous battleships and carriers; Falaise, centered on repelling an Allied landing and German counterattack; and Fortress, set on 4 islands for multi-commander multiplayer engagements. This page provides a detailed guide for mastering the financial aspects of J.League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, specifically focusing on initial setup, facility expansion, and player contracts. It emphasizes that smart financial decisions early on are crucial for success in the first year. The guide covers choosing your hometown, explaining how different levels impact costs and city parameters. Screenshots throughout the page show the game's menus for facility management, hometown selection, player contracts, and monthly funding settings. The guide delves into the costs and benefits of building various facilities like clubhouses, training grounds, medical rooms, and stadiums, explaining how they contribute to player development and club growth. It also touches upon maintaining and improving the ground itself, including turf replacement and installing night practice lighting. Another key section advises on player and manager contracts, suggesting prioritizing cost-effective options like one-year contracts early on to manage finances. It highlights the role of scouting and finding talent within your budget. Finally, the page explains how adjusting monthly spending on advertising and fan service directly impacts match attendance and fan acquisition. This is a vital resource for any player looking to build a successful club from the ground up by effectively managing their budget. This page continues the guide to J.League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, focusing on handling finances during actual matches and navigating player contracts. It stresses that smart financial decisions aren't just about setup, but also about how you approach each game and negotiation. The guide explains how to maximize income from matches, particularly highlighting the crucial winning premium, which significantly impacts finances. It details the financial differences between home and away games, noting how home games offer substantial income while away games involve travel costs. Screenshots display match result screens showing income and expenses, emphasizing the importance of winning. Moving on to player contracts, the page provides advice on negotiation strategy. It explains how to determine player salaries, differentiating between J.League players, domestic players, and foreign imports, noting the vast salary ranges. It discusses contract renewal, emphasizing the importance of securing promising players on multi-year deals when possible. Scouting for new talent, especially young domestic players who can be signed cheaply and developed, is presented as a key strategy for building a strong team within budget. Screenshots show player negotiation interfaces and player detail screens, illustrating salary parameters and negotiation options. The overall message is a balance between strategic spending and smart acquisitions to build both financial stability and team strength. The next page dives into a strategy guide for Vampire Hunter. Darkstalker's Revenge, known as Darkstalkers 2 in the West. The main focus here is the game's signature chain combo system, a core mechanic that lets you link normal attacks seamlessly from weak to strong. The guide explains the basics of executing these chains, highlighting their importance for both offense and defense, but also warns that they aren't a cure-all and can have limitations like potential counterattacks. Detailed sections are dedicated to introducing specific characters and showcasing effective combos. Dimitri is presented as a solid, orthodox fighter with reliable chains. Galen, or John Talbane as we know him, is described as having great reach and strong special moves, with combos emphasizing his speed and unique mobility. Victor, the Frankenstein's monster, is shown to be surprisingly agile despite his appearance, excelling at mix-ups and using his size to his advantage with specific combo examples. The page also briefly touches upon the game's unique jump attack mechanics, allowing for multiple hits mid-air, and introduces the Turbo Speed Select command, a classic feature allowing players to adjust the game speed for faster matches. Screenshots illustrate the combo sequences and character actions, providing visual examples of the strategies discussed for Dimitri, John Talbane, and Victor. This page continues the deep dive into Vampire Hunter, or Darkstalkers 2, by showcasing more of its diverse cast and their strategic potential, particularly focusing on mastering the chain combo system. Lord Raptor is highlighted for his tricky movement and versatile attacks, making him effective at changing directions mid-combo. His strong punch chains are noted for their effectiveness, and specific moves like Skull Sting and Evil Scream are mentioned as key components for extending combos. Morrigan is presented as a character who excels at using the chain combo system to its fullest, capable of executing long, intricate sequences, theoretically up to 6 buttons. Her Astral Vision ability is also pointed out as a powerful tool for extending combos and doubling attack hits. Anakaris is described as slow-moving but formidable once he gets close, where his chain combos become very effective. His unique movement and the importance of mastering his dash and rolling techniques are emphasized for closing distance and setting up attacks. Felicia is pitched as a beginner-friendly character due to her speed and easy-to-understand combos and special moves. Her basic strategy revolves around fast, reliable attacks and mobility, with moves like Delta Kick and Sand Splash being mentioned as core parts of her game. Finally, Shinko, Lele, is featured, noted for her somewhat difficult-to-master playstyle, but high potential when used effectively, particularly utilizing her unique projectile-based attacks to control space and set up devastating combos. This page continues exploring the cast of Darkstalkers 2, diving into the strategies for several more unique fighters. Sasquatch is presented as a character with fewer chain combo options, but compensates with powerful normal and special moves. The guide suggests focusing on oppressive attacks and utilizing moves like Big Typhoon and Big Towers effectively. Bishaman's strength lies in his weapon-based attacks and high damage output. Mastery of his guard-crushing weak kick and specific chains like the Guki Giri combo are highlighted as essential tactics. Donovan, while lacking straightforward decisive attacks, is shown to have potential through skillful use of his special moves and specific chain sequences. The importance of integrating moves like Ifrit's sword into his game plan is noted. Phobos, Huitzil, is described as a rushdown machine, excelling at multi-hit normals and aerial attacks. Mastering his unique movement and air dashes is key to getting in and applying pressure with his chains. Notes are also made about potential permanent combo setups for both Oboro Bishaman and Huitzil. Finally, Pyron is featured as a powerhouse with potent special moves and highly effective chain combos. His strong punch chains and versatile aerial attacks, including his dive kicks, are pointed out as core elements of his dominant playstyle. This page delves into the Sega Saturn title Neon Genesis Evangelion, offering a comprehensive strategy guide focused on unlocking all the animated movie scenes within the game. It highlights the core gameplay loop, where players navigate branching story paths influenced by their choices and the outcomes of simulation battles against the angels. The guide stresses the importance of achieving 100% completion to see every movie, which requires replaying the game and making different decisions. Battle results, including victories, defeats, and even running out of time or the amount of damage taken and sync rate achieved, directly impact how the story progresses and which events or movies are shown. Combat itself is detailed, emphasizing the need for precise command input and accurate judgment. Players are advised to pay close attention to the Angel's attack patterns, react to visual cues like the danger indicator, and use sound cues for timing input. The game involves choosing between melee and ranged attacks based on the Angel's state and distance, and utilizing various commands beyond just attacking or defending, such as movement and boosting the EVA's sync rate. Mastering these mechanics and exploring different combat scenarios are key to seeing the full range of battle-related movies and achieving complete scene unlocks. Screenshots throughout the page showcase character interactions, battle sequences, and the game's interface. This page features a comprehensive strategy guide for the Sega Saturn RPG, Gulliver Boy, focusing on the early to mid-game sections. The guide utilizes a flowchart to walk players through the story progression from Naples to Marseille, highlighting crucial events and objectives. The main goal during this part of the adventure is liberating cities occupied by the Hispania army and uncovering a larger mystery. The flowchart details the necessary steps in each location, such as talking to specific characters, obtaining key items like Magus Sonic or Jupiter, and navigating dungeons. The guide also provides tips for boss battles encountered along the way, including strategies for challenging foes like Doga Shogun, Moonlight, and the Gorgos. It touches on gaining new allies, such as Ezison, Phoebe, and Big Mouse, who join the party during this journey. Dungeon segments, like pressing buttons in specific patterns, are also explained. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate character interactions, boss fights, dungeon layouts, and town environments, giving players a visual reference for the challenges ahead. It's clear this guide is designed to help players navigate the complex early story and prepare them for the trials to come. This page is an arcade game report covering the AOU show, highlighting upcoming titles that will dominate the first half of '96. The main focus is on Gunblade NY and The Last Bronx, with a mention of Virtua Fighter 3 also being showcased. Gunblade NY is a thrilling helicopter gun shooter, putting you in the role of a gunner clearing terrorists from New York. The game features full auto machine gun action and a dynamic camera that automatically tracks enemies, which are described as military androids. Unlike traditional pattern-based shooters, enemy movements are tracked dynamically. The Last Bronx, while not shown at this specific AOU, is featured with details about its CG models and gameplay. It's a weapon-based fighting game set in realistic Tokyo locations like Shibuya. Screenshots show character CG models and motion capture data, particularly focusing on a female character using tonfas. The CG models are noted as being under development, but already show impressive detail and textures. The page also includes motion capture data for the female character's attacks, and a brief report on Manx TT Superbike, referencing an older Sega arcade title, Hang On GP. Overall, it's a preview of exciting new arcade experiences from Sega, focusing on high-action shooting and realistic 3D fighting, with impressive visuals and motion capture technology for the time. This page features an arcade game report from the AOU show, showcasing various titles beyond Sega. Capcom presents Street Fighter Alpha 2, the highly anticipated sequel to Alpha, introducing the innovative original combo system, allowing players to create custom combos. 5 new characters join the roster, bringing back familiar faces from past Street Fighter titles. Capcom also jumps into 3D fighting with Star Gladiator, a weapon-based combat game with a distinct sci-fi aesthetic, marking their first foray into the genre. Tecmo debuts Dead or Alive, another 3D fighter utilizing the powerful Model 2 hardware. It emphasizes realistic motion-captured movements and features a unique hold system for counters and environmental hazards called Danger Zones that inflict extra damage. Namco revives a classic with Xevious 3D Program, updating the vertical shooter into a 3D polygonal experience with changing perspectives while retaining the core gameplay. They also show off Prop Cycle, a unique arcade experience where players pedal a stationary bike to control a flying machine. Taito enters the fighting arena with Psychic Force, a game where characters freely float in mid-air during combat. Finally, Taito's Raystorm, a polygon-based vertical shooter and sequel to Rayforce, is also highlighted, featuring new ships and a charged shot mechanic. The report covers a diverse range of genres and innovative concepts coming to arcades. The AOU show showcased several upcoming arcade titles. Slank's Art of Fighting 3, with motion-captured graphics and new characters like Rowdy and Lenny, was a highlight. Konami unveiled Sexy Parodius, a challenging and quirky scrolling shooter. Final Romance R, a dating sim/mahjong sequel, and Samurai Aces Episode 2, a horizontal shooter with ground combat, were also present. Magical Drop 2, a puzzle game sequel, and Super Get 24 Hours, a polygonal racing game, offered variety. Sega's Virtua Fighter 3, powered by Model 3 hardware and featuring new character Kawaii Umino Koji, was a major draw, solidifying the series' prominence in 3D fighting. The show highlighted a strong presence of shooting and fighting games, including Tecmo's Dead or Alive, along with diverse offerings from Namco. This page features a large advertisement on the left for a Sega Saturn game titled Anata to Yuko, No Private Ryoku, Your Private Trip with Yuko. It's described as a communication software utilizing full original video footage, where players clear video puzzles to advance through a trip with idol Yuko Sakamoto. A second volume featuring Yoshi Yoshino is also promoted for a summer release. On the right side, the Game Research Institute section provides guides and reviews for various games. The primary focus is a detailed walkthrough for Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner on Sega Saturn. The guide covers navigating challenging areas like Kogeji's Trap A, providing a map and tips for finding the exit and progressing through the game's final stages and boss battles. Other games mentioned as being covered in this section include Lode Runner Legend Returns, The Horde, Zork Eyes, and Quo Vadis. An information box lists details for Devil Summoners, like its RPG genre and release date. This page continues the walkthrough for Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. It provides detailed maps and guidance for navigating several challenging dungeons, including the MT Takao Underground Waterway, the park's enchanted forests, and the ancient ruin labyrinth. The guide highlights key locations, potential traps, and strategies for progression. Screenshots show the environments and demons encountered. The final section focuses on boss strategies, specifically detailing tactics for defeating the formidable duo, Umagatsuchi and Yosomagatsuchi, essential steps for advancing deeper into the ruins towards the game's conclusion. This page provides maps and strategies for navigating late-game dungeons and defeating bosses in Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. This page continues our deep dive into Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, focusing on the challenging post-game content. It reveals the existence and nature of a hidden extra dungeon located deep within the underground waterway of Yatagarasu Ward. This area is designed for the truly brave, filled with incredibly high-level demons like Ouroboros and Gamagog, far surpassing those in the main story. Accessing this secret dungeon requires returning to the Yatagarasu office after a specific point in the game and meeting certain conditions, but be warned, you'll need to be ready for a boss encounter immediately upon entering. The guide provides maps for some of these deep floors, showing potential treasure locations and dangerous spots. It also details the bosses guarding this realm, Hokutose-kun and Nantose-kun. These two powerful demons are weak to AGI and buff magic, and defeating them requires a strong, well-prepared party using full-force attacks and consistent healing. This extra dungeon is presented as optional content, separate from the main story, designed for players who want to push their limits, find unique treasures, and prove themselves as the ultimate devil summoner. This page delves into the challenging action puzzle world of Lode Runner: The Legend Returns, offering strategies to conquer some of its toughest stages. The guide breaks down key tactics for navigating difficult levels, emphasizing smart item usage. It covers how to utilize crucial tools like bombs and drills, master basic movement, strategically handle enemies who revive, set effective traps, and find safety in shelters. Specific challenging stages, including numbers 45, 61, 108, and 144, are highlighted with accompanying screenshots to illustrate the recommended approaches. The page also touches on the included stage editor, encouraging players to get creative. This page provides strategy tips for Lode Runner: The Legend Returns, focusing on difficult stages, item usage, and the stage editor. This page is a comprehensive strategy guide for the action strategy game, The Horde. It breaks down the core gameplay loop of developing and defending your village against waves of monstrous invaders. The guide emphasizes the crucial role of village development, particularly the importance of protecting your cows, which are key to generating income. It provides tactics for defending against the Horde across various stages, detailing enemy types like the Pancreas Horde, Pioneer Horde, Shaman Horde, and Giant Horde, and suggesting defensive strategies tailored to each stage's environment. The article also highlights the power of various items found throughout the game, including useful tools like bogey boots for faster movement, the flute for calling powerful creatures, and the hidden item Windpilly, which provides substantial wealth. Screenshots illustrate key gameplay elements like village defense, resource management, the cow, and item usage. This is a solid guide for mastering the challenges presented by the relentless horde attacks. This page focuses on two distinct games, Zork I and Quo Vadis. The left side provides a detailed guide for the classic text adventure, Zork I. It highlights the game's enduring appeal and focuses on navigating the initial areas, specifically the White House, and finding your way underground. The primary goal is to collect treasure for the trophy case. The guide includes a simple flowchart detailing key steps from the start to reaching the underground dam, along with a basic map of the house layout. It also emphasizes the importance of finding hidden passages and saving your progress frequently. The right side is dedicated to the simulation RPG Quo Vadis. It features a massive flowchart that maps out the entire story path for the main character, Hal. This chart reveals the game's branching narrative structure, indicating that the story diverges at various points based on player choices during dramatic sequences or the outcome of battles. A key explains the different shapes used in the chart represent drama stages, battle stages, and side stories. The article also briefly touches on the conditions that trigger specific story branches, often linked to combat results. It's a comprehensive visual guide to understanding the game's complex narrative progression. This page features updates on two different gaming events. On the left side, the final results of the Hudson PLG's Idea Contest are revealed. PLG stands for Personal Life Game System, a concept focused on integrating real-world time into games and allowing the narrative to extend beyond the traditional ending, showing characters' lives afterward. Two winning ideas are presented, praised for their unique takes on this innovative system. Moving to the right, there's a big section dedicated to the Sega Rally Championship 1995 Time Attack Contest. This is a major competition challenging players to set the fastest times in the arcade racer. The article highlights that the final deadline is approaching and calls for more participants to heat up the competition. It outlines the different categories like Normal, Stratos, Champion, and Best Lap, and mentions the cars players can use, including the iconic Celica, Delta, and Stratos. Prizes are also listed for the top finishers. It's clear the competition is fierce and encourages players to push their limits. This page centers on a reader survey offering enticing prizes. It prompts readers with questions covering their demographics, preferred gaming systems, and magazine reading habits to gather valuable feedback. For participating, readers have a chance to win some hot titles for the Saturn, including Mega Man X3, the competitive fighting action of the King of Fighters 95, the epic adventure Thor, Seiryu Densetsu, historical simulations like Sangokushi Aikitsuden and Nobunaga's Ambition Returns, and the unique Lupin III, the Master File. There's also a cool Panzer Dragoon Saga telephone card featuring original artwork up for grabs. The page includes helpful reference tables listing the articles within this very issue, other notable gaming magazines, and a comprehensive rundown of various gaming hardware platforms. Most importantly for players, there's a massive list showcasing a huge selection of titles available across the Sega Saturn, Genesis, and Sega CD libraries. This page features a deep dive into upcoming Sega Saturn titles and a look at a new third-party developer. The left side profiles Hakuhodo Incorporated, specifically their multimedia soft business division, detailing their transition from a century of advertising business to creating consumer content. It introduces some of their game projects under the Hamlet brand, including a show business simulation called Entertainment Hall and a puzzle game titled Tower of Babel, along with adaptations of popular TV shows like Iron Chef and Feng Shui Master as simulation games. There are photos of the development staff and screenshots from their games. The right side is dominated by a special report on the highly anticipated Panzer Dragoon Saga. This section highlights the ultimate 3D shooting experience and details the game's imminent release. It promises a complete introduction to the new game systems and a thorough breakdown of the middle 4 stages, building excitement for this sequel to the groundbreaking original. The striking key art of the game covers most of the right half of the page, and a small data box provides key release information without listing every detail. Panzer Dragoon Saga expands upon the original, with 8 innovative gameplay systems. The sequel introduces mid-course branching, allowing for multiple paths through stages. Significant changes include ground combat, where the dragon, Lagi, can run and fight, and a dragon growth system, where Lagi evolves based on player performance, gaining new forms and abilities. The game features a berserk mode for powerful attacks, an enemy rank system that dynamically adjusts difficulty, and enhanced camera control. Players no longer need to rapidly press buttons for rapid-fire shots. These features, including ground combat and the expanded view, are integral to the game's identity, promising a major leap forward from the original. The next page provides a preview of the first 4 stages in Panzer Dragoon Saga, detailing the game's early story and showcasing key moments. Following the introduction of the game's mechanics, this page illustrates how the adventure unfolds. The journey begins with Stage 1, the Ravaged Village, depicting the destructive awakening that sets Randy and his evolving dragon, Lagi, on their path. This leads into Stage 2, the Imperial and Mechania battlefield, where the protagonists are thrust into a chaotic war zone, culminating in a battle against the massive Imperial transport ship. Next is Stage 3, the Dense Forest, a perilous environment where they face the formidable hunting machine soldier, Hanuman. The initial stages conclude with Stage 4, the Old World Underground Plant, a complex ancient facility guarded by the powerful armored mobile water beast, Landora. The page features screenshots from each stage, highlighting the varied environments and the imposing boss encounters. Brief commentary, seemingly from the character Q, offers insights into the difficulty and highlights of each area, guiding players through the initial challenges of Randy and Labagi's quest for revenge. This page dives deep into the fighting mechanics of Virtua Fighter 2, specifically focusing on the character Shun Dai, and a detailed analysis of his sidestep forward technique. The page title proclaims, "I want to master Shun's secrets." Practical use of sidestep forward. It explains the properties of the sidestep forward move, noting its speed and ability to shift Shun's position significantly, making it effective for closing distance while evading attacks, and positioning himself advantageously, even when cornered. Several sections detail how to use this technique in different scenarios, using it from a low stance to control the opponent, evading counterattacks, advancing while dodging attacks, and positioning for throws. Screenshots illustrate these strategies, showing Shun using the sidestep to weave around opponents like Lao and Pei. The article also touches on potential weaknesses, such as vulnerability to throws and combinations while moving. It discusses how to react when the opponent is knocked down, and how to handle specific situations, like facing an opponent attempting a stand-up attack. Overall, the page serves as a comprehensive guide for players looking to master Shun Dai's unique movement and incorporate the sidestep forward into their game plan. This page continues the character strategy series for Virtua Fighter 2, this time focusing on Lion Raphael and mastering his varied choice attacks. It highlights Lion's strength in mixing up attacks to keep opponents guessing. The guide details key moves like the low kick, Dan K, noting its quick recovery and knockdown power, and providing setups like the PP and PP combos. It then explores options available after landing Dan, suggesting follow-ups including the evasive Katate Tenshin, K plus G, and various throws. 3 other core techniques are broken down for effectively utilizing Lion's style: Mabanshu, G plus P, an evasive attack good for timing hits; Taizan Sukukyaku, P, an evasive punch effective against low-mid attacks with great damage; and Senshikaku, K, a forward lunging kick perfect for surprise attacks and knockdowns. Each is shown with visual examples of how to set them up using other moves, like various punches and kicks. Finally, the page emphasizes technical combos using Katate Tenshin, K plus G, demonstrating how this evasive stance transition can lead into damaging follow-ups like the spinning kick, K, or Senshikaku, K, highlighting the importance of timing for maximum impact and showing off cool high-damage sequences. It's clear the goal is to use Lion's unique movement and varied attack properties to control the fight. This page is packed with Virtua Fighter content, focusing on both the Saturn version of Virtua Fighter 2 and the exciting upcoming Virtua Fighter 3 as seen at the AOU show. First, it reports on the results of the Virtua Fighter 215 segment Time Attack Challenge, showcasing impressive clear times achieved by players using various characters such as Jackie Bryant, Sarah Bryant, Lion Rafal, Pai Chan, Kagemaru, Shundi, and Dural. It also unveils visuals from the CG Portrait Dural chapter, available for the Saturn version, giving fans a look at Dural's unique appearance in the the game's ending sequences. The main feature is a big reveal of new screenshots from the AOU show version of Virtua Fighter 3. It confirms the appearance of new fighter Aoi Umenokoji alongside returning fan favorites like Lao Chan, Pai Chan, Jackie Bryant, Jeffrey McWild, Wolf Hawkfield, Shun Dai, and Durrell, highlighting their dynamic performance in the demo footage. A significant section is dedicated to Jackie Bryant, showing off his mysterious new costume and the incredible detail of his character model and the game's graphics. The page also includes images related to the game's development, featuring Yu Suzuki and staff. Rounding out the page is the illustration communication section, featuring fan-submitted artwork centered around the beloved character Sarah Bryant, depicting her in youthful and elegant portrayals. This page delivers an exciting interview with Sega legend Yu Suzuki, delving into the revelations of Virtua Fighter 3 following its impressive showing at the AOU exhibition. Suzuki discusses the development status, confirming new fighting styles and hinting at significant technical advancements beyond the AOU demos. The interview touches upon the striking new stages seen in the demo footage, including a dilapidated garden stage with walls and a multi-level stage featuring glass floors in a modern building, confirming these are representative of the final game's environments. Suzuki also addresses the evolution of characters, noting the impressive quality already present, and mentioning specific details like the detailed muscular movement of Jeffrey McWild and the captivating liquid metal transformation of Durrell. A major point of discussion is the introduction of new fighting techniques, particularly those utilizing stage walls, a departure from previous Virtua Fighter titles. The magazine highlights specific moments from the demo reel, such as the graceful dance of new character Aoi Umenokoji, showcasing her Aisheki Jujutsu style, Durrell's dynamic entrance, and various new throws and wall-based maneuvers performed by returning characters like Jackie Bryant and Lao Chan. The page clearly conveys the excitement and anticipation for Virtua Fighter 3, emphasizing the leap in graphics and gameplay complexity demonstrated at the AOU show. This page features a special interview discussing the creation of the fighting game, Sonic the Fighters, known in Japan as Sonic Championship on Sega Saturn. The interview brings together 4 key figures involved in the project, including Sega legends Yu Suzuki and Yuji Naka, along with Hiroshi Kataoka and Naoto Oshima. The developers discussed the state of the game's development following its appearance at the AOU show, covering topics like the implementation of upper and lower attacks, the selection criteria for the game's roster, and the introduction of original characters such as Bean the Dynamite and Bark the Polar Bear. They also touch upon the potential inclusion of boss characters. The page includes character art for several confirmed fighters: Sonic the Hedgehog, Miles Tails Prower, Knuckles the Echidna, Amy Rose, Fang the Sniper, Espio the Chameleon, Metal Sonic, and Dr. Eggman. The discussion provides insights into the design and gameplay direction of this unique fighting game entry in the Sonic universe. This page announces the exciting news that Virtua Fighter Kids is coming to Sega Saturn. It details the arcade version's development progress at 70% completion, highlighting how the basic systems and direction are well established. The article discusses the game's unique features, such as the exaggerated facial expressions for characters during selection and specific moves, like Shun's Huton, which is now shown as a Jawati drink can. It also points out the dynamic camera work used for characters like Wolf, making his attacks feel powerful even in this scaled-down form. The winning and co messages are also noted as being changed to fit the game's style. The right side of the page features a manga segment, presented as a continuation from a previous page. This panel depicts a fantasy setting and reveals a dramatic plot point. Goldark of the Fundalia Empire has suddenly murdered Gizeldark and seized the imperial throne by force. This page continues a gripping manga narrative within the magazine. Delving into the world of Legendra, we see characters reacting to widespread political upheaval across the continent, triggered by changes in a major Western nation and the sudden deaths of kings elsewhere. A crucial plot point centers around news of Prince Wayne ascending the throne, following the previous king's swift demise. The panels show characters poring over maps and discussing these dramatic events. There's also a lighter interaction between characters, including one playfully suggesting gambling. At the bottom, lore sections expand on Legendra's history, detailing past events like the Great Calamity, ancient battles against formidable foes like Madruk, and the state of civilization and interracial dynamics in the post-Calamity era. This page continues the ongoing manga narrative set in Legendra, diving further into the continent's political turmoil. The characters discuss the severity of the situation, referencing acts of fratricide, and questioning the capabilities of forces like Golden Dark, noting they can't directly attack Highland just by rising up. They acknowledge the current state within the castle walls is dire, and link it back to revenge for the king's death 10 years prior during the national conflict. News arrives about Nina, and there's talk of reports. Specific updates mention the Moon Palace's queen-elect, known as the Founding Witch, and the decision of the elf tribe's new leader. The right side features the dramatic appearance of Tyrus, causing surprise among the characters who refer to her as Her Majesty. They discuss a unanimous decision made by the elders, indicating significant steps are being taken, suggesting a formal discussion is now necessary. The news delivered to Nina is described as quite bad, tying her into the unfolding events. This page builds upon the previous one by revealing key figures like Tyrus and the Moon Palace Queen-elect, and detailing specific political developments following the widespread unrest. This page continues the intense narrative, focusing on the escalating military situation in Legendra. Characters react to urgent reports revealing that Golden Dark is raising an army. Furthermore, the main force of the Imperial Army is said to be concentrating on the Fandalia border. The news gets worse, with confirmation that battle has already begun against Izumo. There's a moment of confusion about Somarion before the true scale of the Imperial Army's ambition is voiced. A plan to crush Izumo, quickly corrected, with the realization that their target extends beyond just Izumo. The bottom text provides historical context on the races of Legendra, detailing the decline of the Beastmen and the deteriorating relationships between elves, humans, and beastmen, hinting at the long-standing tensions behind the current conflict. This page features a blend of ongoing narrative and game content. On the left, the manga continues the tense story from the previous page. The dialogue emphasizes the sheer scale of the conflict, with one character exclaiming that the war now encompasses the entire continent. Another bubble reveals that this is a formal declaration of war against their nation. The panels show characters reacting with shock and concern, highlighting the gravity of the situation before concluding with, "To be continued." The right side shifts focus entirely to the classic arcade hit Virtua Cop, presented as a valuable CD jacket. It provides essential details about the Sega Saturn port, noting its release date and confirming it's a faithful arcade conversion that met high user expectations. The text highlights the coolness of the two main protagonists as a key part of its popularity. There's also a brief visual guide on how to cut out and use the jacket from the magazine, and a note about the game's enduring popularity, hopes for a sequel, and the bonus on the back of the jacket being a handy skill list. Accompanying this are dynamic character artworks of the game's heroes in action poses. This page continues the valuable CD jacket feature from the previous page, focusing on cheats and unlockable content for the Sega Saturn port of the arcade classic Virtua Cop. It reveals hidden modes such as Training Mode, Option Plus Mode which changes menu options, and Record Save Mode, detailing how to unlock and utilize them. The guide also provides locations for hidden lives across all stages and mentions the use of controllers or the mouse for gameplay. Tips are included for using features like gun select and pausing the game. The page then shifts focus to Winning Post 2, a horse racing simulation game. It emphasizes that building a strong human network is key to success and highlights the game's story-driven opening. The main goal is to become an experienced and wealthy horse owner over a simulated 30-year career. The text touches upon the importance of managing relationships with trainers and jockeys, outlines key events in a horse owner's year, and details the initial steps of registering as an owner and the required investment. A significant part of the simulation involves assistance from 6 different secretaries, whose portraits and brief descriptions are presented, each offering unique support to the player. This page continues exploring Winning Post 2, detailing the day-to-day life and key activities of a virtual horse owner. It explains that even on non-race days, owners are busy gathering information and acquiring talented young horses. The game features commands for gathering news and data, including past race results, jockey/trainer rankings, and stallion information. You can also check detailed data on your own horses. A crucial aspect is seeking promising future champions. This can be done through the auction or purchasing yearlings directly from ranches. The page highlights the importance of building human relationships within the horse racing world, specifically with trainers, jockeys, and other owners, which is essential for success. The process leading up to race day is outlined, including strategy meetings with the trainer. On race day itself, the owner heads to the track, watches the races from the stands, and handles tasks like betting on their own horse. Race viewing offers various camera angles, And after the race, you debrief with the trainer and jockey, analyzing the performance and identifying areas for improvement. The page also mentions a versus mode, where players can pit their best horses against each other. Winning Post 2 truly immerses you in the world of horse ownership. This page introduces Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Aikitsuden, a simulation RPG that blends strategic gameplay with character-driven storytelling in the chaotic world of the Three Kingdoms period. The game begins with the crisis of the Han Dynasty and the tyranny of Deng Zhuo, leading to the formation of the anti-Deng Zhuo coalition, which players follow through the prologue. Combat is a core element, featuring strategic movement on a world map leading into detailed battlefield setups. Unit types like infantry and cavalry have specific attributes and relationships that influence damage. A highlight is the one-on-one duels between officers, depicted with polygon graphics for dramatic flair. The game also incorporates rich RPG elements, including character stats, attributes, and a wide variety of items like weapons, armor, and recovery items, emphasizing strategic use and management. The page also profiles key characters appearing early in the story, such as Liu Bei, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Cao Cao, and Liu Biyu, setting the stage for the epic narrative. This page dives into the world of Air Management 96, an airline management simulation game. Your goal is to become the world's top airline king by building a vast global network. As the company president, you'll be busy expanding routes, investing in your company's capabilities through maintenance, advertising, and services, and striving for profitability. The game features strategic elements, like negotiating airport slots, setting schedules, and running campaigns or building hotels to boost passenger numbers. Gathering information through meetings and various data screens is crucial before making big decisions. You can even acquire new routes by taking over other companies through stock acquisition. The game utilizes polygon graphics for its maps and city displays, showing your airline's network vividly. You'll manage a fleet featuring iconic aircraft such as the Boeing 747, Concorde, Airbus A310, Douglas DC-10, Ilyushin Il-96, and Boeing 767. You can choose from different starting scenarios set in 1963 or 1983, which offer varied conditions and events. It looks like a deep simulation experience for anyone who's ever wanted to run their own airline. This page showcases J-League Victory Goal 96, the latest iteration of the soccer series. The game boasts significant upgrades, including all 16 J-League teams for the current season, notably featuring new additions like Kyoto Purple Sanga and Avispa Fukuoka. The visuals are enhanced with polygon-rendered players alongside the polygon stadiums, making the on-pitch action more realistic than before. Gameplay sees several improvements aimed at accessibility and depth. Individual player attributes influence their performance, affecting things like ball curve based on their kicking foot. A new real-time coaching feature allows you to manage off-screen players mid-match. Adding to the atmosphere, the game includes commentary. You can also review the action with a replay feature offering different camera angles. The game features 3 distinct stadiums, each rendered with polygons, offering variations in weather and time of day. For varied gameplay, J-League Victory Goal 96 includes 7 modes. You can play single exhibition matches, tackle a full J-League season, or opt for the shorter S-League. There's also a tournament cup, a superstar mode for all-star matchups, a penalty kick battle mode, and an extensive options menu to customize settings. The page highlights the depth of content and graphical improvements the game brings to the pitch. This page serves as a detailed guide for Linkle Liver Story, focusing on a key portion of the adventure. It highlights the game's unique mechanic of growing weapons using pearls, and outlines where and how to cultivate different weapon types like the rod, glove, and boomerang. The guide takes the player through the quest to help a friend, Robin, by gathering ingredients for a medicine from various locations, including the treacherous Mermaid's Cave, the Rock Square, and Mount Helena, facing enemies and bosses along the way. After successfully concocting the medicine and aiding Robin, the narrative shifts towards rescuing another character, Cassie, leading the player towards Cassie's waterfall. The page includes numerous screenshots illustrating gameplay, character interactions, and specific challenges encountered during this part of the journey, providing players with hints and directions to progress through the story. This page focuses on Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory, highlighting it as a new version introducing additional characters and gameplay systems to the series. The game features a roster of 14 distinct characters, including newcomers like Kang Jae-hoon and Gong Sun Cheng. A particularly interesting point is the inclusion of characters from Data East's Fighters History series, such as Makoto Mizoguchi and Amy, who retain their signature moves from their original game. The page details the game's unique weapon system, where the presence or absence of a weapon significantly impacts a character's moves and fighting style. Weapons have durability and can break, reverting the character to unarmed combat. Players can freely manipulate weapons during battle, including dropping, picking them up, and throwing them. The game also includes various special and super moves for each character, and offers a beginner mode to help new players execute complex commands. Screenshots showcase the game's character designs and vibrant stages. This page celebrates the release of the Gradius Deluxe Pack on the Sega Saturn, bringing the arcade classics Gradius and Gradius 2 back to life after a decade. The compilation faithfully recreates the intense side-scrolling shooting action that defined the genre. Players once again pilot the legendary Vic Viper, strategically collecting power-up capsules dropped by defeated enemies. The iconic power-up system, featuring speed-up, missile, double, laser, option, and shield, remains central to survival and strategy, allowing players to customize their ship on the fly. The page highlights the meticulous detail in reproducing the diverse and challenging stages from both games, from the fiery volcanoes and colossal moai heads of Gradius to the biomechanical and gear-filled environments of Gradius 2. Screenshots showcase these memorable levels. A parade of challenging bosses is also featured, including fan favorites like Big Core, Tetran, and the Massive Gopher. The review section emphasizes the high quality of this Saturn port, confirming that the graphics, enemy patterns, and unique option behaviors are accurately translated from the arcade, making it a must-have for Gradius enthusiasts. This page dives into the wacky world of Gex, a platformer where you control a gecko sucked into a dimension based on television. The goal is to navigate through different channels within Media World to find remotes and escape. The page showcases Gex's diverse moveset, essential for tackling the varied environments. He can perform a powerful tail whip, bounce on his tail, cling to walls for vertical traversal, and even use his tongue to eat bugs for power-ups like Fire Breath, Red Remote Hot Sauce, or Ice, Blue Remote Ice Cubes. There are also items like the Green Bug, Green Remote/Grape Soda, for temporary speed boosts, and the Yellow Bug, Yellow Remote Electric Flies, for projectile attacks. The stages themselves are themed around different TV genres, such as Kung Fu, Horror, Sci-Fi, Rhizopolis, Jungle, and Anime. Each channel presents unique challenges and visual styles. The page also highlights helpful features within the stages, such as Polaroid cameras that act as save points, and warp zones for finding hidden areas or skipping sections. For extra lives, look out for butterfly capsules or collect 100 gold flies. Overall, it looks like a fun, action-packed adventure with plenty of secrets to uncover. This page features my best friends, St. Andrew Academy Arc, a controversial X-rated puzzle game for the Sega Saturn. The core gameplay involves completing 70-piece puzzles to reveal suggestive graphics of the featured schoolgirls. A key mechanic is that the explicitness of the revealed images progresses through 4 stages depending on how quickly the player solves the puzzle. Faster times unlock more revealing graphics. The game features a total of 8 girls, with 5 available from the start. Players can view character profiles to learn about the girls and find their favorites. Once unlocked, the suggestive images can be viewed repeatedly using a special phone call feature. The page highlights that even the intro movies and the stripping scenes revealing the final graphics are animated, adding to the game's appeal as described. Illustrations showcase the different girls, including Yayoi Nishizaki, Ayano Utenji, Hiromi Aoki, Megumi Akihara, and Reishu Ikegami, each with a distinct look and profile blurb focusing on their charming points. The game promises plenty of suggestive content for dedicated puzzle solvers. This page is all about Idol Mahjong Final Romance R, a mahjong game ported to the Sega Saturn that adds significant original content compared to its arcade counterpart. The Saturn version includes entirely new visual scenes and extra modes, expanding on the core gameplay. The main draw is challenging 5 different high school girls to mahjong matches. Defeating them progresses the game and unlocks content, including an album mode to revisit unlocked visuals and a dress-up mode to customize character outfits. Like other titles in this genre, the game features suggestive graphics that are revealed as you win against the girls, progressing through multiple stages of undress. An item system is also present, allowing players to gain advantages in matches. The page introduces the 5 girls. Rina Koizumi, described as cute and youthful. Miku Fujisaki, who wears glasses and shows various expressions. Kate Yamamura, noted for her figure. Haruka Chidu, the refined lady, and Ryuko Hayami, also a lady type with bold poses. The visuals accompanying each girl's profile showcase different outfits and suggestive situations unlocked in the game. The focus is clearly on the character interactions and the fan service unlocked through mahjong victories. This page features 2 distinct and classic game experiences. On the left is a look at Snatcher, a legendary cyberpunk adventure game making a comeback. The article highlights its blend of investigation and shooting segments set in a dark, futuristic Neo-Kobe city, where players battle mysterious biomechanical lifeforms known as Snatchers. The main characters, including the protagonist Jillian Seed and key members of the anti-Snatcher unit Junker, are introduced, emphasizing the human drama amidst the sci-fi setting. On the right, the focus shifts to Nobunaga's Ambition Returns, presented as a return to the roots of the long-running historical simulation series. The magazine positions this title as a more accessible and simplified version of the grand strategy game, focusing on the core elements of ruling a province, building armies, engaging in diplomacy, and leading troops in battle to unify Japan under Oda Nobunaga. The emphasis is on straightforward gameplay and refreshed presentation compared to more complex entries in the series. This page features 2 distinct games. On the left, there's a polygon action game starring Doraemon and his friends on a space adventure to save a revived planet. Players can control various characters and utilize Doraemon's signature gadgets as special items, some of which even influence the game's branching story paths. The game includes a health system and features animated sequences. On the right, the page presents World Cup Golf. In Hyatt Dorado Beach, a realistic golf simulation that faithfully recreates a real PGA course using 3D graphics. It offers quick rounds and multiple competitive game modes, including match play, medal, skins, and team formats, supporting up to 10 players, alongside a comprehensive practice mode. This page highlights a Doraemon action game and a realistic golf simulation with various modes. This page features 2 exciting games on the Sega Saturn. On the left we have High Octane, a fast-paced futuristic racing game from Bullfrog, the creators of Populous. It puts you in the driver's seat of a hover car, equipped with weapons like miniguns and missiles, challenging you to not just race, but to destroy rival vehicles to win. Managing your fuel and shield is crucial, using pit stops and scattered power-ups to enhance your abilities. The game boasts a variety of modes, including a championship, single races, and even combat-focused modes where you hunt down clones or face off against another player. It's all about aggressive driving and tactical combat on these dynamic tracks. On the right, we delve into DEFCON 5, a compelling 3D adventure action game. You're tasked with infiltrating a hostile base in the near future to uncover mysteries and escape. The gameplay involves exploring interconnected areas, solving puzzles, finding essential items, and interacting with systems like VOS terminals and remote-controlled drones to scout or engage enemies. Travel within the base is handled via a limo transport system and elevators. The game features a real-time system where events unfold dynamically, including sudden enemy invasions, requiring quick thinking and strategic action. It feels like a tense, evolving environment, where survival depends on adapting to the situation. This page covers the intense racing combat of High Octane, and the strategic infiltration and puzzle solving of DEFCON 5. This page highlights 2 distinct titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have a deep dive into the world of soccer with Zico, a software title dedicated to the legendary Brazilian player. It serves as both a simulation and a comprehensive database, covering Zico's renowned techniques, career history, and insights into his soccer philosophy. The game includes detailed explanations of fundamental and advanced techniques, often demonstrated with real match footage and computer graphics, offering fans a unique look at the sport through Zico's perspective. On the right, the page features Lupin 2-1, The Master File, a massive digital archive dedicated to the long-running anime series. This software compiles extensive data from 1971 onwards, covering everything from character profiles and story synopses to location maps, production designs, and music. It organizes this vast amount of information into various modes, allowing fans to explore the rich history of Lupin II, including classic theme songs and original opening sequences unique to this release. It's presented as the ultimate resource for any Lupin II enthusiast. This page features two distinct game previews. On the left, we find Horror Tour, an adventure game rendered in 3D, where the goal is to escape a castle dominated by monsters. Players must explore, gather information, solve various puzzles, and face enemies in real-time combat. The screenshots showcase the atmospheric castle environments and some terrifying creatures. On the right, the page highlights Virtua Fighter Mini, coming to the Game Gear, based on the popular anime series. This portable adaptation offers a story mode following the anime's plot and a versus mode. Battles can be viewed in different perspectives, including a standard view and a zoomed-in, large mode for closer action. Screenshots include anime visuals and gameplay footage, showing how the iconic fighting series translates to Sega's handheld. This page features the Hyper Ultec section, presenting advanced techniques and hidden tricks submitted by readers for various Sega Saturn games. These tips are rated on a scale of 1 to 5, based on their impact or coolness factor. The section covers a diverse range of titles, offering secrets for racing games like Virtua Racing and Sega Rally Championship, where players can unlock night driving, challenge powerful opponents, or race against iconic cars like the Stratos. Other games include Virtua Open Tennis and Moyero, Pro Baseball 95 doubleheader with in-game commands and ways to view endings. There are also tips for more unique titles, such as Hisatsu Pachinko Collection, Tokimeki Mahjong Paradise, the puzzle game Kururin Pa, including how to unlock the Paro Paro King character, and the fighting game Guardian Heroes, showcasing a hidden special move for Randy. Even the Neon Genesis Evangelion game has a secret, allowing players to unlock a special background mode by entering a specific name. This page serves as a valuable resource for players looking to delve deeper into their Saturn library and discover hidden content or advantageous techniques. This Hyper Ultec page presents reader-submitted tips and secrets for various Sega Saturn games. Clockwork Knight 2 features a button sequence for accessing minigames. Rating 2. Tokimeki Mahjong Paradise has multiple tips, adding graphics with button combinations. Rating 2. And preventing the reach window. Rating 1. Other games with rating 1 tips include Mahjong Kyo Jidai, changing background music, Mobile Suit Gundam, hiding credits, Godzilla, Archipelago Shock, Godzilla Dance after game over, Moyero, Pro Baseball, viewing sound tests, Virtua Racing, car view rotation, and Chi King the Spirits, detailed time information. Hiyori no Omoid Plus, rating 2, unlocks higher difficulty levels, and X-Men, Children of the Atom allows screen size adjustments. The page celebrates these small, fun secrets across a range of genres. This page features upcoming titles in a coming soon showcase. First up is Jiku Tante DD, an adventure game highlighting its intriguing scenario, impressive graphics, and the use of popular voice actors. Screenshots show the interior of a massive airship, the Lorelei, which serves as the game's setting, emphasizing the smooth visual transitions during movement, even just ascending stairs. The page introduces key characters central to the story, including the protagonist, a descendant of Dracula, and his lively high school student partner. Next we have Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner Akuma Zensho, presented as a comprehensive database and art book for the original Devil Summoner game. This allows players to delve deeper into the world by viewing detailed graphics and information for over 300 demons featured in the main game. The interface allows zooming in on the high-resolution demon artwork and accessing lore and stats, making it a must-have for fans of the series. Finally, Pinball Graffiti brings polygon-rendered pinball tables to the forefront, incorporating elements of adventure games. It showcases different unique tables, like Basketball Legend, Cardmaster, and Circus Fantasy, each with distinct gimmicks and themes. Players can experience dynamic viewpoints with multiple camera options and progress through a story mode, adding a narrative layer to the classic pinball action. The page previews upcoming Sega Saturn games. Nonomura Baiuin no Hitobito, an adventure game from Elf, offers a murder mystery with multiple endings, adult content, and full voice acting. Keo Yuga Kitai, Katsugekihen, a run-and-gun action game, features Rami Nanase and Spot, with improved animated cutscenes. Angel Paradise Volume 1. Sakaki Yuko no Koi no Yokan in Hollywood is a puzzle game featuring idol Yuko Sakaki, incorporating real-life footage. Lastly, Dai Undukai Joshu, tentative name, is a training simulation where players prepare a girl for a sports academy entrance exam, focusing on stat building. The lineup includes adventure, action, puzzle, and simulation genres. Upcoming Saturn games include a horse racing sim, arcade ports, a cinematic adventure, and a 3D RPG. Turf Wind 96 allows players to train and race horses with realistic graphics and famous jockeys and horses. Revolution X and Metal Black, arcade ports, offer fast-paced light gun action with Aerosmith and a challenging horizontal shooter with a unique power-up system respectively. Policenauts, an adventure game, features a futuristic detective story with compelling characters and animated sequences, including 3D shooting segments. Sword and Sorcery, a 3D RPG, focuses on its three-dimensional perspective for movement and combat, featuring expressive character animations. This page features previews for several upcoming Sega Saturn titles and a look at new game trends. First up is Jewels of the Oracle, an adventure puzzle game where you explore ancient mansions rendered in 3D CG to solve numerous puzzles. The goal is to find keys to reach the legendary city of NYSUS. Next, we see Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Slam Jam 96, a basketball game featuring the NBA legends. The gameplay perspective changes based on the situation, aiming for realistic matches. There's also Gameware Volume 1, presented as a digital magazine on Credrom, offering game information, user-submitted content like videos and music, and playable demos of released software. Further down is Shanghai, the classic Mahjong solitaire game, offering different rule sets and visual styles like Classic Shanghai and Great Wall, featuring various tile designs and removal animations. Adjacent to that is Clockworks, an action puzzle game from the creator of Tetris, Alexei Pajitnov. It involves guiding a dot around a clock face while avoiding obstacles, and notably features a claymation opening animation. Finally, a section on new title trends briefly touches on a variety of upcoming games across different genres, including ports of PC sports games like Aksha Golf and Aksha Soccer, other action and puzzle titles, and mentions ongoing projects and collaborations. This page is a status report on anticipated software for the Saturn, offering updates directly from the developers. It covers a wide range of genres, from RPGs and simulations to action and racing games. Among the highlighted titles are the highly anticipated Sakura Wars, with its focus on high-quality animation, and the arcade hit Virtualon, currently being researched for a faithful Saturn port. Fans can look forward to remakes like Lunar, Silver Star Story, and enhanced simulations like Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You. Other exciting games featured include the 3D action RPG Dark Savior, the classic dungeon crawler Wizardry Viz and V2 compilation, the arcade perfect port of Darius Gaiden, the strategic Langrisser 2i with its new battle system, and the manga-accurate fighting of Dragon Ball Z, the Great Dragon Legend. There are also previews for unique titles, like the adult adventure No Nomura, Bayuin no Hitobito, and the space simulation Legend of Galactic Heroes. The brief comments give a glimpse into the development challenges and goals for each project. This page presents a comprehensive release calendar for Sega's platforms, primarily focusing on the Sega Saturn, but also listing titles for Mega Drive and Game Gear. The Sega Saturn section is extensive, detailing planned releases month by month, starting from March and extending into the summer, autumn, year-end, and even providing tentative listings for 96 and 97, alongside a section for titles still without a firm date. This schedule includes a wealth of anticipated games, many of which we discussed previously, like the arcade giants Virtua Fighter 2 Daytona USA and Virtua Cop confirmed for March, the remakes Lunar, Silver Star Story and Wizardry Vine V2 set for June, Langrisser 2 Halves I and Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You in June/July, and the highly anticipated Sakura Wars aiming for a September release. The calendar showcases a diverse range of genres from numerous publishers, highlighting the growing momentum behind the console, with a mix of major arcade ports, established series sequels, and new titles. The Mega Drive and Game Gear sections are much smaller, listing just a few upcoming titles, like Madu Monogatari for Mega Drive, and Puyo Puyo 2, and Virtua Fighter Mini for Game Gear. Finally, the editor's note on the page touches upon the significant news regarding Final Fantasy V2 moving to PlayStation, but reflects a resilient and positive stance on the Saturn's future, citing the strength of upcoming key titles like Virtua Fighter 2 and Virtua Cop 2 as reasons for confidence. This page is a deep dive into the Sega Saturn title, G-Bockers. It's a chaotic 3D arena battle game featuring adorable robot characters engaging in combat across wide-open environments. The focus is clearly on versus play, highlighting the game's support for two-player battles, both with and without the dedicated versus cable. The game emphasizes a unique combat system, where different attacks are performed by entering commands, adding a layer of strategy beyond simple shooting. It also features a weapon view window to track your projectiles and see hits connect, adding to the intensity. Visuals showcase the colorful 3D arenas and the distinct robot designs, including the main owl-like character and a cowboy variant. The page promotes a limited pack that includes the necessary versus cable alongside the game. The standard version is available for 5,800 yen, tax excluded, with the limited pack priced at 6,300 yen, tax excluded. Both available now.